Hi guys, and welcome to the third video in this series of Java programming. In this tutorial, we're going to be looking at conditional statements, specifically if and switch statements. So if we begin with if statement, an if statement is effectively a programming conditional statement that, if proved to be true, performs a function or displays some sort of information. So it will look through variables or input given, and if its conditions are satisfied, it will run the block of code that's within it. It'll explain it all as I'm coding it. And then the second one, which is a case statement or a switch statement, basically allows a variable to be tested for equality against a list of other values. And each value, called the case, as you see below, and the variable being switched on is checked in each case. So I'll show you how that's working here in a second. What we're going to do here is we're going to create an if statement. So let's begin by going public static int, and I'm going to show you the significance of saying int there in a second. The if statement so let's just call that here, and I'm going to tell you why. Firstly, the if statement method has a little bit of an issue, and why we're not saying public static void. So public static void means that the output of the method, there is no output, so it's not returning anything, whereas integer means that it's returning an integer. It's returning data of the type integer. The reason why this is having an issue here is because it's not returning anything. So add a return statement would be a quick fix. So if I did something like return 0, there we go, it's just going to go. So we'll sort that out in a minute, but let's get on to this. We're going to declare our variables, and as always I say comment everything. There's no such thing as over commenting. It just helps your understanding. So let's say declaring our variables, and let's say int a is equal to 1. Let's keep them real simple. Int b is equal to 2. Let's go ahead in writing our if statement. Let's say if, I'm going to show you the syntax. You're going to use these brackets here to contain the statement itself. A is not equal to B. Oh, there we go. And then you're going to write it within there. That exclamation equals is not equal to. And those assignments and statements are all on www.scholarhall.com. Links in the description. Go check it out there. There's a document that shows all of them. Logical and mathematical statements. So, and we're going to create a nested one here. So let's go if a is less than 20. Why not? We can say return 0. The way that nested if works is if this is satisfied, it moves on to this and checks if that's being satisfied, and if not, then it will move to this else. We can say return 1. So check if it's satisfying if a is not equal to b, which it is, and it will go into this statement. And if a is less than 20, which it is, it returns 0, and if it isn't, it returns 1. But then we need to satisfy if a is equal to b. And we're going to do that here. We're going to say else return 2. As you can see, the issue with the method is gone because we're returning a value for each possibility. So we've covered all possibilities here. And that's basically a nested if statement. These can prove really important when you're doing things like loops, while do loops, and for loops. So you're going to end up nesting for loops or nesting while loops, and these conditional statements are going to be really, really important when you're doing logical operations. So it's definitely worth having a play around with that. I'd say get practicing, do your own if statements. The next one that we're going to be looking at is a case statement. So as I said before, a switch statement, sorry. As I said before, it's going to take in a value and it's going to run it through instances called cases. In this instance, we've got a string and the variable is called month. and it's assigned to a string September. And as you can see here, it's public static string, so the output of our actual method should be at the bottom. There we go, returning a string. I just wrote days known. So it's going to go straight into this switch statement, this variable month, September, and it's going to run through each case until it reaches one that satisfies it, September. At which point we've now got our variable days in a month assigned to the value 30, and it breaks. It exits straight out of that bracket, and it will go straight here, and it will print out this lovely string for us. Days in a month plus September is equal to 30, and it will print all that out for us. And then we've got our return statement right there. So those are basically the two types of conditional statements, the main ones that you'll be coming across, and they can prove really useful. And in another video, I'm going to be showing how these can be used to program your Finch robot. So definitely tune in there to see how you go about doing that, if that's relevant to you. But until next time, take care, and I'll catch you soon. Bye-bye.